Hi everyone, Paul Wright here. Welcome to this presentation, Stress, Leadership and Opportunities from Coronavirus, what all health business owners must know about growing in a crisis. Now, why did I decide to do this presentation? Well, lots of experts have given great tactical and what to do advice now as a result of the crisis, and they've been fantastic. I wanted to take a slightly different approach in my input into it. And I want to give people a little bit of hope, some reassurance, and maybe help you see the opportunities the situation can bring to you and your business if you know where to look for them and what to do about them. And I want to give you some strategies you can implement now to help set up your business for after the crisis has passed. Now, before I get into the actual content of the presentation, I need to acknowledge first this coronavirus pandemic is unprecedented and an absolutely catastrophic event. Illness, death, uncertainty, panic, job loss, business closure, financial hardship, all that is very, very real. And obviously our thoughts go out to each and every person who is suffering in one of those situations now. Now, my presentation in no way undermines the seriousness of that situation. I've been close to this in many ways. My elderly mum had been in hospital in Sydney until very recently, and she then got a throat infection or a sore throat. She complained of a sore throat. All hell broke loose. There's my dad in the corner who's 90. The mask's on him. Like it's just amazing what this is doing to everyone now. She's gone home now and they're holed up in their place, but it's scary times. And she was then tested for coronavirus and, you know, the ramification of that for a near 90-year-old. So, but everyone is touched in some way by this thing. So please don't send me emails about questioning how I can find opportunities out of this situation. Those emails are wasted on me because I do understand what's going on. We'll also need to understand what we can do about it. So those messages, don't waste your energy, they're wasted on me. Don't waste your time. However, we do know these things for certain. We do know we'll get through this crisis. We do know that. We know there are opportunities that will be created by this situation, and the smart business owners will be aware of them. And they'll be ready to capitalize on them when the time is right. So we do know those things for certain. Now, before I get into the presentation itself, why would you want to listen to me about it? Well, those that haven't met me, I'm Paul Wright. I'm a physiotherapist, former health business owner. I had 6 clinics in and around Sydney. My claim to fame, I probably didn't visit them very much at all. I ran them systematically. I then sold my businesses and I've created multiple programs since then, helping health business owners to earn more, work less and enjoy their lives. We've created Fast Track, the team training program for systems. We've got Sell Without Selling with Steve Jensen, Ultimate Social Media with Nick Schuster and Matthew Holmes, Ultimate Referral System with Michael Griffith, with Profit Club, Physio Professor. And I'm a private mentor to a select group of renegade health business owners. And I've been in the trenches with these guys since very early on. We saw this coming and we started taking action and then it all happened. So it's been kind of a unique opportunity for me because I've seen what's happened across the globe and at different stages. So I've got clients in the UK, Ireland, Canada, US, New Zealand, Australia, and they're all in varying degrees of lockdown at different stages, and they're going through different things in each country and different regulations and everything else. So it's been interesting to watch from a global perspective. Some are open, some of my clients are closed, some are doing telehealth only as well as in-person consults. So there's all different things happening across each of their practices and across a range of health businesses. So from optometry to physio, chiro, osteopath, podiatry. So I'm involved in lots of professions across lots of countries, which is an interesting position to be in when you're in a crisis like this. Now, with these private clients, we've been handling leases, staff issues, wages, setting up telehealth managing patient communications, emails, financial planning, all these things have been going on with my clients, and I've been involved in a lot of it. And it's been amazing to watch also the social pressures some of them have experienced. So whilst some of them, their governing bodies have encouraged them to stay open and said they should stay open, there's been massive social pressure to shut. I've got one client who the doctors across the road said if he doesn't shut his practice for the greater good of the community, they'll never refer another client to him again. Yet his competitors up the road are still open. So there's a lot of things at play here, and everyone's got an opinion about it. Again, you make your own decision whether you're open or closed. Governments might dictate it, but there's a lot of different pressures in this. One of the key things I've been helping my clients with, though, and one thing that we're going to talk about today, is managing your mindset. And that's a key part of this whole survival of this coronavirus issue. Now, as you know, other than my mum's issue at the moment and her age, I've been in the trenches many times like this. We're no stranger to what's going on here. We've seen interest rates in Australia at 18, 20%. We've been through the global financial crisis, so we weathered that storm. Not many of you might know this, but I totally lost a business in 24 hours. Helen and I, we had a practice inside a fitness centre in Sydney. A booming practice. We've been there for years. It was just a great business. Those that don't know the story, I got a phone call from one of my valued clients to say, Paul, do you know that the owners of the gym haven't paid rent for the last 3 months? Oh, I didn't know that. So I contacted the owner of the gym who I was friends with. And so we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I turned up at the practice and I had my rent check in those. I had a rent check in my hand to give to the owner for the next month's rent. And I went to hand it to him. And he looked at me and he said, just hold on to that, Roddy. Now, I knew then the writing was on the wall. So I rang the nearest removal company. I hired a truck, packed up everything in the practice. This was a Friday, I think it was, about lunchtime Friday. Everyone was saying, Paul, it'll be okay. Someone's going to buy the gym and it'll be open again on Monday morning. I said, when it opens, I'll bring everything back. Chucked everything in the truck. We packed up and left. Everything from the practice, everything we could take that wasn't bolted down. And I can tell you, we never again set foot inside that premise. So it was gone. And it went in 24 hours. Now it's interesting when you go through crises like that, you can go through lots of things. Now, I do know one thing, and this will come through in today's presentation. You get a group of a group of entrepreneurs, in a room, and you said to them, if we took your business away instantly, what would you do next? The one question they would ask, and it was a question answer that I had luckily, they would say, do I keep my database? Do I keep my database? Now, I knew my practice shut, but I had the database. We were able to relocate, we re-established, so we had the database. You guys don't own a health business. You own a database of people that use health services. And we're going to talk about what that means to you today. It's all about the database, and especially in times like this. So don't worry about the bricks and mortar business. It's the database that's valuable in most businesses. So, stress, leadership and opportunities from coronavirus. What all health business owners must know about growing in a crisis. Firstly, you've got to know to put your oxygen mask on first. What do they tell you in the aeroplane? You've got to look after yourself. The first things I tell my private clients when all this started to go down is make sure you look after yourselves. Keep doing your exercise. Make sure you're sleeping well. Do some meditation if you need to. Stay calm. Spend some time with the family. Understand this thing will pass. Yes, there's some changes, and my beautiful wife Helen I've been through issues with this as well, because I'm a creature of routine. I like things to be in a certain way. And I've got 4 gym memberships and I can't go to any of them. So I've had to make do with my Roman ring workouts and my swimming and whatever else I can do, and surf ski paddling. So I can still get out and do it. But I don't like things that ruffle me too much. But you've got to try and be flexible with this, and you've got to keep some sort of exercise going. So try and keep everything in as best you can to look after your own mental health. Leading into mental health, you've then got to get your head right about what this is all doing and what the opportunities are. So you've got to get your head right about what's happening. What we do know, when you're in a time of crisis, you are also in the time of maximum opportunity. Historically, every crisis that's happened historically, there's been an opportunity for someone if they knew what to do with it and where to find it. There are opportunities out there at the moment if you know where to look. And at the time of crisis is when the maximum opportunity is there. They say more millionaires are made during the GFC than any other time. When crisis leads to these things. And this is during the 9/11 thing. One of my mentors once said to me, he said, Righty, if you're not actually at ground zero, pulling up rubble, then get back to work on the business. So get your ass into gear and build your business. You can't, if you're not there, you can't do anything. I think we've got to be aware of that. We can't do anything that's out of our control at the moment. And all the worry about it won't do us any good. Remember, everything in life creates opportunities. I heard someone say the other day, even when you die, the day you die is an opportunity for someone. The funeral home, the casket, like there's an opportunity for someone. The venue that's having your wake, like there are opportunities. So all you can do, guys, focus on what you can control and leave the worry to everyone else. And I work with my private clients, they're entrepreneurs. You know, they're always looking for opportunities. They thrive on confidence and forward motion, not fear. Confidence and forward motion. So you've got to take action. You've got to put things in motion, do things. You don't sit back and wait for what's going to happen to you. You take action. One of my clients who had a debacle, like I think she had two staff members resign. We'd worked hard to get these new team members, then they resigned. And I told her the story about a guy, no matter what happened, he was totally positive all the time. No matter what happened, first thing he'd say was, how good is this? How good is this? No matter what happened, that's all he said. So I told my client about this when her team members left, and we laughed about how good is this. When the crisis started happening and it started unfolding, I got the email, how good is this? Now, it's a laugh, but you've got to be trying to think about it. There's always an opportunity, how good is this? I swim with a group of 70 and 8-year-olds in the morning. We're not doing it now, but this is during winter time at the surf club. And it'll be a freezing cold morning, and the guys will jump in, it'll be freezing cold. They walk down to the beach, in we go, cold as, and one will say, how good is this? Okay, you can feel it doing you good. So there's always an opportunity, just be aware of where to look for, and we'll talk about that today. Also, you've got to be aware of the role of the media in all this. Now, understand the role of the media. The media sells fear and is systemically dependent on fear for ratings. Now, I know they serve a purpose in terms of informing the public, or some of the channels do, and they might help as a result keeping some people inside. So if they get the message out there, then that's good. But be careful of what you take in from the media. I heard a headline the other day. The headline came out, Australia could run out of ICU beds in 10 days if the crisis continues. And that's a headline. Now, words to watch out for in headlines: could, if, and may. Could this happen? If this happens, and may this occur? Be careful, that's speculative. Try and focus on the facts. I tuned in, I think Helen had something on the news headlines. I think it was something like our deadliest day so far, with 400 dead in Spain overnight. Stock market slumps to the record low, and jobless figures could rise to over $1 million, to over 1 million people. What this means for you? I'll tell you what it means. It means I'm shit scared. Like, you can't take in that and not feel something from it. So be careful of what you're taking in. Reduce your media intake, maybe just to the World Health Organization site. I've started tuning in occasionally to the Premier's report, 8 o'clock every morning. So get one of the politicians who's at the ground and saying this is the latest. It's not speculation. What if this, could this, may this? Don't deal in speculation, just deal in what we know. And that helps a lot. Well, it helps me anyway. It just doesn't do anyone any good to be caught up in all this stuff. Now, let's talk about some of the opportunities. Now, there are opportunities created by everything that happens. Let's look at some of them as it relates to you as a health business owner. I think there's a massive opportunity during this time to step up as the leader of your team and your business. It's a massive opportunity to step up as the leader of the business. They say in times of crisis, leaders are exposed, either good or bad. They're exposed as being great leaders or exposed as being poor leaders. They're exposed. They say anyone can run a business or a country for that matter when it's all going well. Okay, but at the moment, people need leadership. Your team need leadership. Your community need leadership because it makes them feel safe. When all those headlines are going on, they feel unsafe and uncertain. They're looking for certainty and security. And that's what they want from their leaders at this time. So what can you do? Try and talk in the positive. Yeah, there are tough times. We'll get through this. We've been through this before. We'll be fine. Okay. Affirm to the team that all will be okay. You don't be dismissive of your team because they are concerned. Listen to them. Be empathetic, most definitely, but reassure them that it'll be okay. In times of crisis, your team want firm decisions. So be firm and in control with every interaction with clients and staff. Be firm and in control. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're doing next. Okay, be firm, be decisive. You may be wrong, but be decisive. Like you won't always be right here, but be decisive. And don't be pressured to make a decision quickly. If you aren't sure what you're going to look, I'm going to think about that. So we're going to cut hours. Look, I need to think about that. I'll get back to it at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning in our next meeting. And then think about it and make a decision. Don't say, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't know. No, they don't want that. They want firm leadership. So be decisive. Because I can tell you now, guys, this is when you earn your money as the business owner. Now, hopefully, if you're doing this well, you're running a business well, you are profitable and you're making good money out of it. This is why you make good money out of it. This is why you can take time off when you like. If you can, hopefully you can, otherwise you've got bigger problems with your business than coronavirus. This is when you can decide who works in the business. This is why you choose. You have choice because you're the owner. Okay. This is also when I earn my money as a health business mentor. Okay. This is when I have to step up to the plate as well. So in times of crisis, this is when you earn your money. I've got clients at the moment. I was talking to one of my clients the other day. She's excited by it. She said, I don't know if this is in politically incorrect, Paul, but I'm excited by the crisis that I'm dealing with. She likes being in the trenches. And everyone's in a different state, depending on a different state of mentality here. I've got another client who, when I spoke to him soon after this hit the fan, he was in a mess. But we clarified it. What can you control? This is what you got to do. Take action. We laid it out for him. And in my next call with him, how's it all going? I said, mate, do you want to have a call? Do you want to catch up? He said, no, I'm fine. I'm playing chess with my son. And just so I know, if he beats me, I owe him 50 pounds. So he's got it. So everyone's in a different state here, but you've got to remember, leaders stand up at this time. When the game is on the line, the leaders want the ball in their hands, from a football analogy. The ball is in your hands now and you decide what to do with it. Okay, don't let other people decide, you decide. Yes, we are guided by governments, etc., but you still have to be firm, decisive and in control. Step up as the leader. Massive opportunity for you. A huge opportunity at the moment too is to put a high fence around your herd. Now we talk about the database, or you own the database. This is an opportunity to reconnect with your database. They've never needed you more than they need you now. So manage your clients' fears and patients' fears by staying in touch. Email, text, phone, Facebook, Instagram, whatever channels you've got at your disposal. This is when you ramp up your level of communication. Your once a month newsletter is not going to cut it right now. Email opening rates are up. Social media engagement is up because people are bored. They're at home. They'll read your newsletter now. They mightn't have read it before. They'll read your content. They'll watch your video. They'll take your phone call now, whereas maybe they wouldn't have before because they've got more time on their hands. So this is an opportunity for you to reconnect and to increase the connection with your database. That's your business. Your business is your database. And you've got to realize you may have been taking your clients for granted to a certain extent, and some owners have really had their pants pulled down by this. They're scrambling to find ways to communicate with their database. Okay, but hopefully you haven't been in that situation. You should be on the phone. I said to my client, one of my clients the other day, any team member who doesn't have a patient at the moment should be on the phone. So if you walk through your practice, and if they're open and they don't have a client with them, they should be on the phone. Okay, that's what you should be doing. And it's the "Are you okay?" phone call. "Hey Mary, Paul from XYZ Health, just making sure you're okay. Is everything all right?" One of my private clients, the older client, because I had an older clientele, just checking you're okay, everything okay? Oh, I can't get out much at the moment. Just in passing, you mentioned you needed some milk. And so the therapist dropped some milk around him on the way home, knew where he lived. That guy's going to tell 50 people. But that's what happens in a time of crisis. So you've got to get on the phone, guys, to every person on your database and make sure they're okay. Okay, an easy way to do it, create a contact list. Go to your software system and create a list of patients in order of their recency. So from most recent to least recent, when did they last attend the practice? And just make your way through the list. Okay, call everyone. It's a care call. You're not selling anything. You're just making sure they're okay. Do they need some reassurance? If you're open, do they know you're open? Do they know you have telehealth? Do they need a home exercise program written up for them? Like, are they okay? That's all this is about. You should be emailing your clients regularly, 2 or 3 times a week. Your old monthly newsletter is not going to cut it. 2 or 3 times a week, be in touch. Send out the email. If you're stuck at home working, would you like me to send you a home exercise program we've created for office workers? Just email us and we'll get it out to you. It's a reason for communication. Okay, and they then contact you to get it. You follow it to make sure they've got it. Here's the program. Like, if you've got any spare time, that's great value. You should be doing Facebook posts, lots of useful videos, stretches, home things you can do. Even, are you open or not? How does telehealth work? If that's what you're doing. Okay, if you are open, reassure them why you're open. The health minister said to stay open if that's what happened. And this is how we're keeping you safe if you have to come in. But we also have telehealth. We're now doing home visits. Whatever you've got going, depending on legalities in your country, if you're totally shut, you should be all over telehealth, home exercise sheets, and just helping people. I saw a great video my clients did informing their clients of telehealth. So they had the Rocky music in the background, and they had Sean, the practitioners, on the keyboard, and Adrian, his beautiful wife, is here doing, this is how we're doing telehealth with Rocky music in the background. It's fantastic. Just engaging and fun. So are you doing Instagram posts? Are you texting messages to your clients? You've got to inform them. Have you got a pop over on your website, just letting them know whether you're open or closed, or are you doing telehealth, or what? Now, you've got to have something on there to communicate with them. If they go to your website and it's the same as it always has been, are you open? Are you closed? And by the way, I'm only using closed for the purpose of this presentation. We don't put anything about we're closed when you're talking on your websites or other things or to your clients. We're currently not doing face-to-face consults because of the coronavirus issue, but we're still doing telehealth and helping you and phone consultations. So you're not closed, you've just got a different delivery method at the moment. Be very aware of being clear about that. No one uses the word closed in your business. If you want to see one of those popovers, one of my clients, go to turramaraphysiotherapy.com.au, TURRAMURRA, turramaraphysiotherapy.com.au. Simple popover, keeping them updated, and you can change that regularly if you need to. So have you had your pants pulled down by the coronavirus? Have you taken your database for granted? If so, take action now and ramp it up. So take this opportunity, because that's what it is, an opportunity to fix this and reconnect with your database. Put a fence around your herd. They never need you more than they need you now. Biggest opportunity out there. There's more opportunities. The opportunity to reach out to doctors and referrers to make sure they're okay. So you should be contacting your referrers and let them know of the measures you're taking if you're still open, or your telehealth, or your home services. Let them know what you're doing. And do they need anything? If they're local doctors, can you help them with something? Do they need a home exercise sheet sent to them? Do they need a telehealth consultation for them or their family? What do they need? I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and he said, because they're doing more telehealth now for the doctors, because they're doing a lot of phone work, they're not as busy as they were before in some practices. Whoa. So we're a chance of getting on the phone to them. The admin team aren't as busy because there's not many people in the waiting room. So maybe we can talk to them and they can put us through. So we have an opportunity to connect with the doctors. We mightn't have had it before. Are the doctors okay? Are you okay? Send them a letter. Tell them how you can help them. Tell them about your doctor's survival exercise program you've given them and you're happy to go over with them. There's a lot of opportunities in the medical space here at the moment. But also think about your other referrers. What about your personal trainers who have been sending you work for years? The local gyms have been sending you work for years. How are they going? Like, maybe nice just to give them a call and see, are they okay? You're putting a fence around your referrers. Now, can you help them? Well, maybe if there's a personal trainer who's referred a lot of work for you over the years, you could contact your database and say, this trainer is now doing online training. He's got a great new program to keep you healthy while you're at home. Can you help that trainer? What's that going to pay for you at the back end of this? What about all those local gym owners that you work with, or sports clubs you work with? All the sports teams, how can you help them? Okay, what do they need? Do they need some sort of rehab program at home? Like, how can you help them? Do they just need someone to talk to? There's the opportunity, guys, to build and consolidate relationships. Now, will that pay massive dividends now? Well, probably not. You might get a few telehealth consults, maybe you get some things happening, but it's not a big deal now. But this is what's going to give you the opportunity to ramp up when this is over. They'll get back in business, you can re-establish the referrals, and away you go. There's an opportunity there for you. Now, most of you will be doing this by now, the opportunity to ramp up your online consultations or telehealth program. Now, a lot of people have said, people won't pay for telehealth, or whatever else they say. And we've seen that's not the case, but just be aware, people don't pay for physiotherapy, osteopathy, chiropractic, podiatry, optometry. They don't pay for that service. And they certainly don't pay for the delivery method. So they don't care if you're a physio. They don't care whether I said in one of my emails, they don't care if they've got neck pain and you stand up on a chair, clap your hands and sing God Save the Queen. They don't care how you deliver the outcome. They just want the outcome. So people will pay for the result or the outcome, not the delivery method. So we get caught up in falling in love with our delivery method, but that's not it. That's not what it is. It's the outcome people want. So if you can help someone who's got a bad back at home, who's isolating, if you can help them overcome their pain, if you can help them move around, if you can help them be happy with their family while they're in isolation, with home exercises, with watching what they're doing on the computer, on your software, whatever it is, that's what they pay for. So to get caught up on your delivery method, that's a byproduct. So people pay for the outcome. And the outcome may be peace of mind. It may be just confidence. It may be certainty that they're not going to have surgery and go off to intensive care, or whatever it is. They pay for all of those things. Okay, so beware, they don't pay for the delivery method. Okay. Now, the other thing with telehealth, I've done quite a few courses on this because I wanted to upskill quickly on it. The more I get into it though, not being disrespectful to the courses that are out there, it's not rocket science. You get yourself a video platform, whether it's Zoom or whatever you've got, whatever it is, you get yourself a video platform, and all the software systems are doing it now. Get yourself a home exercise or a online exercise platform you can share with your patients and use, a payment gateway and a booking system, and you're pretty well up and running. Like you'll get better at it the more you do. So yes, I'm sure as people are scared when they start, but don't sweat it. Just start doing it. There's lots of different online exercise platforms. I know one that I've come across, Rehab My Patient, gives a 90-day free trial. So look for ones that give you a free trial and see what it's like. And some of them even have a telehealth platform put in there. Pricing structure is interesting at the moment. I've got some people charging less. So if the regular fees are $100, they might be charged $60 to $80 for an online telehealth consult. But some are charging full price. Some I've heard are even charging more because it's a different service and they want to have longer with the patient. That depends on what your database needs and maybe how niched you are. Okay, and health fund rebates and other things, again, don't get caught up on all that sort of work. The issue is you are providing a service at the moment that may increase some income into your practice or bring some income in. It may not make you a lot of money, but gee, it's a nice way to stay in touch with your patients. And there will be opportunities because of telehealth post-virus. So these systems we would expect to stay in your business after this is over. You've got a client who you want to stay in contact with who's going overseas, or a sports team who's traveling and you're not traveling with them. Like there's opportunities for this to stay an income source for you after this is over. I know multiple therapists doing a second opinion online service. And they've been doing it for years. So not sure if you need surgery or want a second opinion, it's an online service. As I said, telehealth won't necessarily replace all of your income. It may generate some, and that's great. But more importantly, it'll help you keep connections with your clients and referrers. And it's a reason now to contact your doctors and say, we're offering telehealth for these specific people. Would you like to have a consultation with us yourself so you can see how it works? They know about telehealth. So there's opportunities in all this. If you're looking for a structure or a formula for this, we've got a funnel we've been using with my clients. It starts out with a phone call. So let's say you're a practice and you're going through your database and you're ringing your people. Are you okay? Anything we can help you with? And they say, I've got this shoulder problem or this neck problem, whatever I've got. Now, this is no different than a regular communication system. You are contacting people anyway, hopefully you are, staying in touch. You contact the client and they say they've got a problem. And you then will, let's have a look at it, Mrs. Johnson. By the way, the government has directed us to stay open. We don't want you going to an emergency department with that neck problem. Let's organise a time to get you into the practice. Again, assuming you're open, by the way. These are the steps we're taking to keep you safe, social distance, all these other things. So you reassure that she'll be safe when she comes in and you can help her, and then you book her in. Now, maybe she doesn't want to do that. Maybe she's still nervous, and that's fine. You might have a home visit option. So some practices, and especially in Australia at the moment, most of our practices are open. You might have a home visit option. Well, Mrs. Johnson, we can come to you. We'd be happy to do that. She might say no. So what do you do next? Well, then the next option, well, you'd then go to our paid telehealth consult. Well, Ms. Johnson, if you don't want to come in, I understand that because these are scary times, totally understand. But we do have a telehealth service, and in that consultation, I'll be able to do an examination over the computer and video, and I can create a home exercise program, and I can take you through it on the computer, and I can send it off to you, and then I can check in to make sure you're doing it okay. Okay, so it's a paid option. Now, if she's still nervous about that and doesn't want to do it, then you can say, well, look, I know it's a new medium, Mrs. Johnson. It's new for you at the moment. Why don't we get you on? We'll do a free 10-minute taster session, get you a look, and I'll show you the platform I'm going to use to share my exercises with you and see how we go. So it's a in-person live consultation offer, to a home visit offer, to a paid telehealth offer, to a free telehealth offer. Now, you can use any version of that. If you're not open, you obviously can't do the first two, then you go straight to paid telehealth. Some people are quite happy just to go, look, Mr. Johnson, I know it's a new media. Let's get you straight onto a free 10-minute telehealth consultation so I can show you how it works. So some go straight to the free offer just to get a taster in there. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You can try all those different ones. One of my private clients at the moment, he's finding the home visit option works the best. Again, that's depending on what you're allowed to do and whether you can ensure safety and your team are happy to do it. All these other things are to be decided by you. Bottom line, you do have options and opportunities to stay connected and to help people. Free telehealth, paid telehealth, phone calls, home visits, live consults. All those things are at your disposal. but don't leave your person out there in pain. Help them. That's what this opportunity is. So make the most of that one. The next opportunity, massive opportunity here, guys, and apologies to the team members out there, to increase team member compliance. There has never been a time in history where your team will be more compliant. You won't see much eye rolling going on now when you tell people to do things. Their jobs are at stake. I've heard for years, owners have been frustrated by a team member who wouldn't follow the protocols, wouldn't do the systems, wouldn't ring up their past clients. I'll tell you, they're ringing them now. They want to do whatever they can to maintain their employment with you, and this is a golden opportunity. And I can see now, the most systematic businesses will come out of this the best and the fastest. So fix your systems, because your team will never be more compliant in following the systems than they are now. So take the opportunity with both hands, guys. Following on from that, there's an opportunity to increase team morale, believe it or not, and form bonds. A lot of people are noticing that at the moment. Their teams are rallying around them. They've never been prouder of them. Okay, they're all in this together, because we form bonds when we're in a crisis and when we're working together. And there's so many stories about how teams have done that. And it's all about the common enemy. If you want a group of people together and to bond, then have a common enemy. At the moment, we have a common enemy. We've got coronavirus as a common enemy. We're fighting it. But equally, there's discussion groups and forums about health, and the common enemy is health funds or the government or tax, or if you've got a common enemy, it's really bonding. So we've currently got one. My dad, heaven forbid, he says, one of his favourite ones, what we need, son, he said this years ago, what we need, son, is a really good war. I said, what are you talking about? He said, because everyone was together. We're in it together, son. Now, we're in a battle at the moment with coronavirus, but it's a common analogy, or a simple analogy. How often do you see football teams or sports teams reunions? They talk about the time in the 64 grand final, they were in battle together. They shared a common enemy. Now, equally, that's exactly what this is about. So it's about, you've got a common enemy at the moment. It's very morale building if you work together on it. Equally, it can go the other way. This crisis can expose some team members who are not really team players. One of my private clients, one of his relatively junior therapists, while this stuff is all going down and there's dramas happening everywhere, he organised a meeting with the owner to discuss his wage deal. Not happy with his current wage deal. Are you for real? So work out who's in and who's not. And be alert, guys, for who's pitching in and who's not, who's contributing. It's very revealing. But there's an opportunity here to get everyone together on the same page and get through this together. It'll be very bonding for you and your business. Now, a massive opportunity for some of you is the ability to reset your business, which means you get the chance to start again. Now, it's very rare we ever get that opportunity in the real world, or previously, to just press reset. It just doesn't happen. So what I'm getting my guys to do is to think about all the things in their business that upset them or frustrate them now. What are the things in their business that they just don't like? Was it poor systems? Was it the lack of cleanliness? Was someone not doing their phone call? Someone was running late with their clients? Might be their roster. They were sick of doing the afternoon shifts, whatever it was. So write down all the things that currently piss you off about your practice, your current business. And then write down exactly what you want your business to look like post-virus. If you could reset this thing, what's it going to look like? What's it going to look like now? What's the new version of the business going to look like? And start thinking about creating that, your staff levels, your consulting hours, what clients you want to see, what services you deliver, what your team training program will look like all the systems, so you can create business version 2.0. And here's the best part. You can also get the chance here to totally reinvent yourself. Like I've got a guy at the moment who's been caught up as a great technician. He's a spectacular clinician, but never been the best leader. His leadership hasn't been great. And that's led to sometimes a bit of a toxic culture in the business. Yet he's spending this time learning leadership, learning how to become a better leader, because when he comes back, he can reinvent himself as version 2.0. He can fix the problem. I had a client once who lost 4 of her podiatry team in a matter of 2 weeks. They just, nothing she did wrong. They just left, and she was beside herself. I said, in typical righty fashion, how good is this? So this is an opportunity to reinvent yourself. The new people won't know what sort of leader you were before, what happened before. They'll just follow the systems now. So we raced to put all these new systems into the business before these new team members started, and they just follow the system because that's how they did it. You know how hard it is to get a long-time therapist to change the way they do things. But you have staff turnover, massive opportunity. So if there's some staff turnover here, that's an opportunity to reinvent yourself, fast-track the business systems, and really push it forward quickly. Because that's what this is all about. Fix the systems. You might want to fix your social media platform. You want to get on top of your email marketing. You want to learn the email platform. All these things you can learn now because you've got more time. And how many of you are learning online consults? You're learning Zoom. You're learning the software systems. You're fast-tracking all that work. Okay, there's a big opportunity to fast-track all of that. Other opportunity, I love the word opportunity, by the way. Well, that's what the webinar was titled. There's going to be more available labour. There's going to be an increase in available labour. There has to be. There'll be a resettling of the labour force. Now, even more importantly than that, and again, apologies to the team members out there, there'll be a swing of the pendulum back in favour of the employer. Now, we've probably noticed, especially in Australia, there's been a swing towards the employee. There's a lot of employee industrial relations and reforms and other things that have really made it the employee's market. This is going to reposition that whole thing. There's going to be more available labour after this. People will then value their jobs more. I don't think there'll be as many or as aggressive wage demands, so there'll be some cheaper labour around. Now, for some countries out there, I think you have the opportunity now, in Canada, there's one comes to mind, to maybe reset the employee model. Instead of being a contractor model where you're forced to pay 50, 60, even 70% of gross to the contractor, moving more towards an employee model where you can get your wage to revenue under a much better control. I've got some clients at the moment that we're going to do exactly that. Some are too heavy with high percentage team members, which is affecting their bottom line and their profitability and making the business unsustainable. We'll be using this opportunity to maybe move some of the more advanced people out, the more expensive team members, putting better systems in and getting maybe some newer grads or a couple of year out graduates into mentor programs where we can pay them an hourly rate, a wage as an intern or a mentor program, and have our wage to revenue much lower. See, there's an opportunity here to reset the ledger because I think it's been out of control for a while. And that'll be on the back of available labour supply. There's a lot of available labour, especially newer grads, 1, 2, 3 year people out. You have the opportunity to move them into a salary position. Still paying awards, still giving great conditions, but also maybe understand that people don't just come to you for money. They come for education, for career advancement, for other things. So there's lots of things out there other than just the wage. So that's one of the big opportunities, what's going to happen to the labour force. There's an opportunity, I think, in marketing. There'll be less marketing clutter. We're already seeing a drop in ad costs because a lot of people have dropped out of the auction, especially on Google ads. There'll be less competition for marketing. Now, this is actually the time to increase your marketing. You may have to modify some of your paid channels depending on your cash flow, but your internal marketing, communicating with your database and your communicating referrers, that's all very valuable marketing at the moment. And a lot of that's free. So don't sit idle, take action. The other big opportunity too is after this is all over, or as it settles, the world will be very health and wellness focused. It'll be a big opportunity for the health and wellness industries because people will realize the importance of health. It'll be really thrust upon them. Now, it may also be the opportunity for you to take a breath. I've been in the trenches since this happened, so I haven't taken much of a breath myself, as Helen will tell you. But maybe this was the world telling us all to slow down a little bit. Maybe that's the case. Now, I don't suggest you take a total sabbatical if you're a business owner. You still reflect, plan, and do these other things, but it might be a time to spend a bit of time with the family. There's some other things. Reset. Look at what the business you want it to look like, or what you want the business to look like after this is over. Take some steps. Maybe it's out of control a bit for you at the moment. You've got to rate it in a little bit. That's an opportunity. Anyway, I hope that kind of put a bit of perspective. There are opportunities out there, guys. You've just got to be careful and know what to look for. So big lessons from today. Focus on what you can control and what you have control over. They're the only things you can fix. So focus on what you have control over. Just forget about the rest. What are the things you can control? Your marketing, your emails, your telehealth program. You can control your rosters, your practice, your website. So you have control over lots of things. Your recruitment, your wages. So make the most of that. There's lots of help available in different countries from government. So be all over that as well. There's an opportunity to gain from that. So again, focus on what you have control over. I'm not a fan of mainstream media a lot of times. So be careful of what you watch. Don't stay glued to social media all the time. It can get a bit out of control for you and can really hype you up. One of my favourite expressions came from former Australian cricket captain Steve Waugh. He's always said to his players, don't get too high when you're high or too low when you're low. Think about the cricketer. They can go through a golden patch and get century after century, and then they have a run of outs and they get nothing. And as he says, don't get too high when you're high or too low when you're low. Focus on what you can control. Be the leader and lead your business. That's the opportunity here. Be the leader, lead, stand up, make decisions. That's the opportunity, because there's lots of them out there. And you think about, well, I was thinking of myself, what's the opportunity for me in all of this? I'm always looking for opportunities. Well, currently, I've been that busy working with my private clients. That's taken up most of my effort, which is probably why I've been not late, but I sat back and watched a lot of the other presentations before I created something myself. So I've been busy navigating my clients. Now, what's that opportunity there? We're building incredible bonds with my elite guys because we're in the trenches together over this. You know, I've been writing emails for them, setting up marketing systems, handling staff issues. So I'm putting a fence around my herd at the moment. So I'm helping them very, very tightly. But the opportunity after this, I think there'll be a huge growth in business mentoring. Like my VIP clients have really benefited from having someone in their corner at this time. It's lonely as a health business owner. Okay, so I think after this, owners will realize the importance of having business mentors in their corner. And they also realize, I think, they've been taking their clients for granted. They need help with systems. The business is too reliant on them. And I think there'll be an opportunity for me. So there's an opportunity for me with my business coaching program. Opportunity also in all of our other programs like Fast Track, the team training program for systems, the ultimate social media, sell without selling, ultimate patient experience packs, all those training programs I've created, I think will really come into their fore after this, because owners will realize their need for team training. If you want to find out more about the Fast Track program, which is the team training program, just go to healthbusinessmentor.com. That's the health business program for team members. But for you guys, if you want to get some other resources, if you haven't already got a copy of my book, How to Run a 1-Minute Practice, there's a just pay postage offer. It's got its basic systems and processes you can put into your business. If you haven't got it, go to 1minutepractice.com/free book. So 1minutepractice.com/free book. You can get that just for the cost of postage. And there's a $1 offer there to try out Profit Club Academy, which has got a huge range of resources there. Offer number 2, though, is if you're interested in at some stage maybe getting into mentoring down the track, it mightn't be now, understand that finances might not allow it now, but if you want to have a talk about your business, about if you want a hand with what's happening currently in your business, what you want the business to look like after this is done. As I said, you don't have to be ready to start now, but I'm happy to have a talk about your business, a pre-mentor interview. We'll develop a relationship in that call. find out more about how we can work together, and maybe even tell you the best resources you can use now to help you in your business to get through. As I said, my VIP clients have got immense value out of being involved with our program at the moment. It may be something you look at down the track. If you want to find out more about that and just get that free call with me, go to healthbusinessmentor.com/elite. So that's healthbusinessmentor.com/elite. As I say, you don't have to be ready to start now, but if you just want to have a chat to someone about your current business, about what systems you should put in, what you want to look like afterwards, and what the best resources to do it, just register there, put your details in there, and I'll arrange a chat with you and make sure you're okay and see if we can help. So bottom line, guys, we will come out of this. Look for the opportunities, stay positive, because there's great opportunities. All will be okay. Don't you worry about it. If you do want to send me an email, contact me, admin@healthbusinessprofits.com. So admin@healthbusinessprofits.com is the best email address. And if you want to organize that free chat to have a talk about your business, go to healthbusinessmentor.com/elite. Stay positive, guys. Remember, only focus on the things you can control. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side of this.